We're cruising coast to coast and getting an all-access pass to houses so big they can only be called mega mansions. When the private jet lands at the Las Vegas airport, a Rolls-Royce Phantom is there to scoop you and your crew. Within minutes, the mansion at MGM is all yours, and anything goes.
There's never been a request that we've been unable to fulfill.
Then, Carnegie's partner in the steel business used his fortune to build the ultra-extravagant Old Westbury Gardens.
This lowers down, and you can hide your fancy jewelry.
Complete with backyard polo fields and the championship thoroughbreds to go with them.
The Phipps family originally owned Seabiscuit.
It all starts now on Mega Mansions. Las Vegas, Nevada. In Sin City, incredible fortunes are won and lost in the blink of an eye. It's a place that's all about living large, and for the highest of the high rollers, anything is possible. Here, one mega mansion stands tall amidst the coasters and casinos of the Vegas Strip. The mansion at MGM is a 290,000 square foot property modeled in an 18th century Tuscan look. The kicker? It's hidden on the grounds of the MGM Grand, the largest hotel in the United States. Most people don't even know it exists.
I stayed in the MGM Grand last year, but I can't really remember the mansions. The mansions would probably conjure up the idea of big, sort of decadent, luxuriant houses.
We've never heard of the mansions at MGM Grand. I think the MGM Grand mansions are a place where celebrities might go and hang out.
So who does get to stay here? This mega mansion is usually reserved for the so-called whales, big-time gamblers that put $500,000 in cash in play every hour of their stay. If it's not comped, staying in the mansion can run from $5,000 to $20,000 per night.
Guests of the mansion are truly the most discerning travelers of any kind. While primarily most of them are casino-invited guests, they range from business owners, CEOs, royalty, celebrities, and the like. So they're used to this type of opulence and service that we provide here at the mansion at MGM Grand.
This mega mansion is the dream bachelor party headquarters. You're guaranteed to go out in style. VIPs and their crew are picked up at the airport in a Rolls-Royce Phantom, one of the most expensive luxury cars on the market. So bump those tunes as the Phantom cruises up to a gated motor court through a private, unmarked entrance and on into the mansion. This is the ultimate in luxury, Vegas style, so you can live it up inside while being just seconds away from the limitless possibilities of the Vegas Strip.
It also features a full bar, an indoor pool and spa for our guests, a media room, a study, a dining room, all the amenities that a guest would want.
Here, everything is top of the line. Uniquely designed with hand-picked art, rare antiques, and pricey accessories. The furnishings alone are worth over $20 million.
One really feels like they've almost rented an estate or a mansion that's truly just for them, somewhere farther away than Las Vegas.
When you're dropping serious coin like this, a personal butler to do your bidding is a must.
Our goal here is to provide the ultimate experience, the seamless service here at the mansion.
Butlers create a personal profile for each mansion guest, which includes just about anything that can be dreamt up. Whether it's a favorite type of pillow, breakfast by the pool, the butler will find a way to fulfill that need. Just keep it clean. Okay, Ms. Jeeves, set that water temp and chill the bubbly, 'cause it's about to be on. The ballers that enjoy this mega mansion most likely have an entourage in tow. If these players choose to hold court with their people, the estate room is the place to do it.
This is the estate dining room, exclusively for the mansion guests. We actually have 2 kitchens within one. We have an executive chef for our continental cuisine, and we have an executive chef for our Asian cuisine as well.
Nothing says luxury like ordering off menu. And when you're here, you get what you want, period.
We did have a request some time ago for turtle soup. Our Asian executive chef went outside to purchase the products and actually made those in-house for the guests. There's never been a request that we've been unable to fulfill.
For the mansion's elite clientele, only top shelf will do. In other words, there's no PBR here.
This is our wine cellar here at the mansion. We have roughly 300 bottles. Estimated value is about $1 million. Some of the high-end cognac that we have the Hardy Perfection. We also have 2 types of Moutai, a 15-year or 30-year Moutai. Actually, one of our most expensive bottles here in the wine cellar is a 1985 Richebourg, worth roughly about $15,000.
Take over the world, and you too can slam shots of Louis XIV like they're going out of style. Just put it on the tab and charge it to the game. Hit the strip a little too hard? How about a tricked-out screening room to kick back and recover? This place boasts a 12-foot high-definition projector screen and 8 custom chairs. Looking for a more intimate viewing? There's a smaller media room as well. So relax and enjoy the experience. Don't want to talk to the butler? Talk to the Crestron, a trilingual touchscreen remote that controls every feature in the house.
The screening room is just one of the places where the guest has access to Crestron.
Dim the lights, draw the blinds, and turn on the slow jams. All with one touch of a button. When it's time to set the mood and get down to business, this high-tech system sets it all up. The mansion at MGM. Luxury living for the mega rich in the heart of the world's most decadent playground. Tucked behind the MGM Grand Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip, this 290,000 square foot estate is one of the most elite properties in the world, catering almost exclusively to celebrities, high rollers, and the richest of the rich. When you paid the cost to be the boss, you've earned the right to a rich retreat where discretion is top priority.
It really is about privacy. Even when in Las Vegas, they want a place where they can call home. And so being able to come here and know that no one will even know that they're here. In fact, sometimes they may forget they're in Las Vegas when they stay with us at the mansion.
As the big-timers take advantage of every imaginable amenity, there's one thing they won't find at the mansion: a traditional library. The reason? The Chinese word for book sounds just like the word for lose. In the city of chance, every edge counts. Las Vegas is known for its blazing desert sun. Mansion guests don't need to brave the heat to take a dip. Steps from the bedroom is an indoor spa.
A pool and a spa that can be set at the guest's preferred temperature. For those repeat guests, we already know that temperature that they prefer, and it's set when they arrive.
High rollers can indulge in the heated pool or take a leisurely soak in the hot tub. If there's time to hit the weights, well, they've got a private gym as well. Or impress a date in the glass-domed atrium, set at the perfect temperature of 72 degrees year-round. And after a wild night out in the town, how about a little nightcap? Head over to the Boom Boom Room. This 3,000 square foot hotspot has after party written all over it.
This area is called the Great Hall, where one can come and enjoy a drink at the bar or play a game of pool. The guest butler can become the bartender, and the guests can arrive here and enjoy a cocktail. Just imagine an evening at the Great Hall that would include your favorite brandy or cognac, a fine cigar, and then a pianist playing just for you.
This mega mansion is an elite and expensive fantasy world where the mega rich stay when they come to play. So check in and roll the dice. It's Vegas, baby. Vegas. From the ultimate in Las Vegas excess to the classical opulence of an East Coast estate. New York City, the #1 metropolitan mecca for the world's hottest, richest, and most powerful players. When the stocks have been traded and it's time for tennis, the uber-rich head out to Long Island, where their mega mansions await. Old Westbury is a short 10-minute helicopter ride from Midtown Manhattan. Forget about the Hamptons. This Long Island suburb has an average household net worth of $19.6 million. And it's the original mega mansion, Old Westbury Gardens. It's the kind of place where the great Gatsby himself would feel right at home.
The mansion is magnificent, it's almost overwhelming, but it's very much a home, and it feels like a home.
It's a 20th century building, but with many, many ancient elements to it.
The Mammoth Estate broke ground in 1904 and was completed 2 years later. Designed to be the country seat of John S. Phipps, heir to a steel fortune second only to Carnegie himself. Nowadays, the entire 23-room, 200-acre estate, including manicured gardens, forests, and fountain pool, is open to anyone who wants to see how this titan of industry ruled the East Coast.
We just came for a walk. It's a nice place to come.
Get out in the sun.
It's kind of like Central Park in Long Island.
His house is the baddest on the block. The entire fortress was built for a king. Phipps fashioned his estate after the great European palaces of France and England. He took special inspiration from the stylings of King Charles II of England. Like a king holding court, Phipps threw exclusive dinner parties in this grand ballroom.
If you were a visitor and you were coming in, you would be greeted by the butler, and at that point in time, they would take your coat.
And his guests were among the most elite and powerful people in the world.
The Phipps socialized mainly with other people of their same social class. They were people much like them who were very, very wealthy people.
The family had balls here when they had a fancier dinner party in which they couldn't squeeze people into that dinky dining room over there. They brought them into the ballroom for a more elaborate kind of party, and if they had more guests, this was a way to entertain them properly.
A butler greets you at the door of a blowout party full of big-timers? How do you get an invite?
How delightful it would be to step out from the party to enjoy the stars and the luxury of this beauty.
Mr. Phipps, keeping it classy. In the suburbs of Long Island, where elegance and excess is the name of the game, one mega mansion fits the bill. With the classic opulence of a European palace, Old Westbury Gardens is the pinnacle of luxury. Using money from the Carnegie steel fortune, John S. Phipps built this 200-acre estate back in 1904. And Phipps had a star in the family. His son Michael fancied the ultimate sport of the super rich.
One of the elements in the Red Ballroom is a trophy case. The youngest son, Michael Phipps, was a championship polo player.
Polo is called the sport of kings for a reason. Just buying a horse to get in the game is tens of thousands of dollars. Of course, it's easy to be a rock star polo player when you've got the ponies out back.
Part of the reason that the John S. Phipps family moved here to the Old Westbury area, they were very much into their horses, whether it was for polo or horse racing, and this area here is relatively flat.
Horse racing and polo in your backyard? No big deal at Westbury.
The Phipps family originally owned Seabiscuit before they sent them out west, and one member of the family, Ogden Phipps, lost a coin flip, otherwise he would have gotten secretariat.
Imagine losing a $6 million horse on the flip of a coin. Making wagers like that, you'd better keep jewels and cash stashed close.
There are any number of secret areas in the mansion here. One of them is in the Red Ballroom. This eagle is actually a jewelry case. You come here, if you have the key, this lowers down, and you can hide your fancy jewelry.
Phipps aimed to impress with the interior of his mega mansion.
The house certainly is nothing to sneeze at. 44 rooms, and it's magnificent. It's almost overwhelming.
And with his grounds and gardens, he took it over the top.
If I could take one thing home, it would be the gardens.
It's the grounds that most people come for.
The grounds of Westbury cover the same area as 20 polo fields, all gorgeously landscaped farmland inspired by English castles and Italian villas. Westbury boasts 70 manicured gardens, 4 lakes, and over 100 different types of trees. And back in the day, Westbury was almost completely self-sustaining.
This was actually a living, breathing farm. When the Phipps family took it over, they had lakes, they had animals, they had sheep, they churned their own butter. Well, the family didn't, the servants did, obviously.
Obviously. Building a mansion of this magnitude today would take several years and tens of millions of dollars to complete.
I don't care how much money you have. 200 acres in a place like Old Westbury, the property taxes alone would kill you.
For the ladies of the home, Phipps designed a wall of 16-foot-high windows on the west porch, with views of paradise in 3 different directions.
A lot of the trees and shrubs that you see now were much smaller. They were a little less mature, so you had great views of the Long Island countryside.
Phipps unloaded a ton of cash and manpower to hook up a choice of views.
The glass windows that you see originally worked on a hydraulic system, a water system, and they could be brought up and down through that hydraulic system. So the entire piece of glass as a whole travels all the way down into the basement. And then they'd be replaced by screens for that nice breezy effect that they were going for.
Remote control windows in 1920.
Very exciting, high tech here at Old Westbury Gardens.
Old Westbury House and Gardens is the ultimate East Coast manor, paid for in full by part of the Carnegie Steel fortune. Back in the day, it was the private playground for John S. Phipps and his family. With a fortune of this magnitude, you don't just spoil yourself, you shower your children in unimaginable wealth as well. Westbury is a textbook case. The Phipps kids didn't have to settle for a tree house and a tire swing. They each got their own country chateaus.
Peggy was a little bit spoiled by her parents, so when it was her 10th birthday in 1916, she got this thatched cottage. Well, she had 3 brothers, and they didn't want to be left out, but thatched cottage wasn't quite up their alley, so the parents decided to give them each a log cabin.
Kinda takes the sting out of getting sent to your room. The gateway to this massive country retreat is a gold gilded cast iron gate dating back to before the American Revolution. This priceless piece of living history is maintained by the elite firm, the Metalier Champenois. It's the same company that touches up the Statue of Liberty.
The South Terrace here is a particularly interesting vantage point. Those gates were designed specifically for the Phipps family.
Like everything else in this luxury estate, it's one of a kind and irreplaceable. The heir to what would today be billions in steel profits traveled far and wide at incredible expense to bring back and adorn his home with the rarest of souvenirs.
Mr. and Mrs. Phipps were married in 1903, and they took a 2.5-month motoring tour through the jungles of India. That was 4,000 miles. And in their journey, not only did they bag this tiger, they dined with Maharajas.
Hunting with the Sultan? That'll get you bragging rights. The Carnegie Steel fortune is truly unrivaled, even by today's dot-com billionaires. This kind of luxury no longer exists. Phipps paid top dollar for the most in-demand artists of his time. The result? What are today priceless works of art and architecture, like this massive marble fireplace modeled after a Michelangelo masterpiece.
Westbury House is also noted for its magnificent fireplaces. Francis Derwent Wood was a very famous English sculptor who did a number of the mantelpieces or fireplaces throughout the house. It's based on Michelangelo's tomb for Lorenzo de' Medici.
Everything about this place screams extravagance. And it's open to the public, so everyone can get a taste of the tycoon lifestyle.
In today's modern times, a 44-room house with 200 acres here on Nassau County's Gold Coast would be unfathomable. this is really a little something special that we have here preserved.
After more than a century, Westbury is still the ultimate in old-school American luxury. When your bank account is busting at the seams, you've got options. On the Vegas Strip, it's every conceivable luxury. On New York's Gold Coast, it's a property with royal opulence. Anything goes when it's your mega mansion.